You could pretend you're on your bachelorette party. No one would know.
That is a fantastic hack if you ever go anywhere broke.
Stuff for free.
Buy a $5 bride sash and people buy you shots all night.
Smart. There you go.
Genius.
You know,
I used to do that in my 20s quite a bit. You're welcome, Overheard podcast.
so
Truly, $5 will make you drink free all night. They'll put you on the bar.
wow.
It's amazing.
Amazing.
Welcome back to the OverheardLA podcast. I'm Emily from OverheardLA, and I used to be a cheerleader.
I'm Justina from OverheardLA, and I played soccer in high school.
I'm not a horse girl, so
I'm not a horse
know.
girl either, although I wish I was. I've been rewatching snippets of Full House. Don't ask. And do you remember how when Michelle falls off the horse and it's like the most trauma? I remember that being the most trauma I had experienced at that age. I was like,
Full
Michelle
House.
fell off the horse and now she's gonna die. She has a concussion. And also, do you remember? I don't know if you felt this way when you watched it. When I watched it, when they were like, she has a concussion, I thought she was
serious.
dying. Like I was like, oh no, this is the end of Michelle. We'll never see her again. And I'm like, wait. Now in hindsight, I'm
Can
like,
you imagine
she
if
had
they killed off like the youngest character on Full House?
Well, I saw an interview with John Stamos recently, and he talked about how he tried to get them fired. How he, like at the beginning, it was one of the first episodes, and he said that they were just like screaming and crying, and they'd be like, put the other one in, and like that other one.
They were babies.
I know. But he literally was like, get them out of here. I want them
I thought I loved John Stamos.
I know. It was
John Stamos is that guy that's like, can you tell that baby to shut up?
Speaking of shushing, I got shushed yesterday on Google Meet.
By AI?
Google Meet itself. So I've noticed this thing lately, which is really fucked up, that every time we're on calls and I laugh, which is frequently because of the nature of our job,
And you snort.
it says reducing noise. And like, it has never done it in any other time. Like I talk all the time, you know, da, 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 and then I laugh and it's like reducing noise. And I'm like, is my laugh that loud?
No.
Like I know it's egregious. I know it's pretty aggressive, but like I was so
what if
embarrassed.
it only did that when you snort?
That would be funny. But it's when I just laugh in general. And I got really self-conscious. And
I
then
don't feel like I've ever gotten the reducing noise.
it hurt my feelings. Honestly, I was
that's
like,
so funny.
can you guys put it nicer or just do it and don't tell me? Like it literally was
just
like,
reduce the noise and don't tell you.
It was as though like I was backing like a fucking truck up and like it was like, hey, don't worry, we're gonna shut this loud ass noise off. And I was like,
This is why I prefer Zoom. Zoom does not shade you like that. Zoom also lets you beautify your face with a filter. I'm gonna just say it. I fucking hate Google Meet.
Google Meet in terms of
When we
how
switched to
beautiful
Google
you
Meet,
can look is tough.
no, we switched to Google Meet, and every time I open it, it's a jump scare.
Yeah.
Like Zoom, I was like airbrushed and stunning. It never shamed me for laughing. Google Meet, you open it and you're like, ah, and then it shames you for laughing.
It was rough. Do you remember when we were on Zoom and all of a sudden I just hear banging on my door? Yeah, remember my like bedroom door, and it was like
scary.
and I was like, oh my God, I gotta go. And I like just like closed my computer. Turns out,
oh my God, I forgot about that.
yeah. So that was, I also forgot about this story. So at the time, it was like early COVID. I had 2 roommates and we were all working from home, and you and I were on a meeting just like da 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 da, and then all of a sudden somebody comes banging on my door, and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
In like the daytime,
It was,
right?
yeah, the middle of the day. So me and you, I like shut off my computer, I think like mid Zoom, and I run out, and turns out that a man was trying to get into our apartment, and my roommate was on a call, and so she had like a sliding glass door in her room, and she was, you know, when you're so hyper focused on your phone call that he knocked, and she like without thinking opened it, and then she looked up and was like and like shut it, and it was just this random man.
Did he come in?
No, luckily she like I think, you know, when your brain just takes a second to kind of like you know, catch up.
Oh my
and so
God,
she
that's
opened it and then
so
she
scary.
shut it, and then
I like
he was
completely forgot about this.
And he like stayed on our, because we had a patio on the first floor, so he just like walked in through the parking garage. I like had to get footage from the parking
Didn't
garage.
you end up calling the cops and they like didn't do shit?
They came like an hour later, and I was like, sirs, we would have been passed away. Thank you. And then they were also like, lead us. The craziest thing about that scenario too is they were like, well, can you lead us like through the back way? And I'm like, can you lead us? Like, you're the one that
You solved the
like,
crime.
What? I'm like, yeah, sure. Let me go first. We never figured it out. I'm so hyper vigilant now.
Like, is somebody breaking into our apartment? The other day, a palm tree crashed through your balcony, which I think made it onto the podcast. So
yes.
Like,
Yeah.
God, that is scary though.
We should do an episode where we unpack everything that happened to me in that apartment specifically, because that was like a cursed
Do you
building.
think it was haunted?
I don't think it was haunted. I think it was cursed.
I wonder if like somebody died. Like my friends lived in an apartment in Santa Monica a couple years ago where like when they moved in, they have to tell you, I think they have to tell you if somebody was murdered, but if somebody died naturally, they don't.
Isn't that wild?
Which is weird. But the landlord just happened to tell them like, cause they were like, oh, it's great. This is available. And they were like, oh yeah, like the woman who was living here passed away. And like in the bedroom.
Would you want to know or not?
I don't know. I think I would, I think I wouldn't want to.
That's the thing.
Unless there was like a
bliss.
Yeah, unless there was like an insane murder. Like unless we're talking about like American Horror Story, like murder house vibes. I mean, my place, we haven't even like gotten into this, but like the place that burned down, bad shit happened.
I think you need to give some context.
Yeah,
you can't just say the place that burned down.
Some context is that a couple years ago, I moved into a place. I was there for 6 weeks. Some weird shit happened from the start.
6 weeks?
Only 6 weeks.
I forgot that.
There was a fire in the middle of the night. We evacuated. It was very traumatic. The place burned down. Our cars burned down. Like, very traumatic chapter of my life. I'm very, very grateful to be okay. And it was terrifying. I'm very grateful to be out of there and in a much better apartment, because from the day we moved in there, even before when we were like signing everything, there was just like sketchy shit in that apartment. Like, I can't describe it, but there was weird energy in that place. It was dark. It was like Bowie got seriously injured a week into moving in. She like broke her hip on a drawer. I almost sliced my thumb off like 2 weeks into moving in on like a can. Like, there was
fairness, I feel like you almost sliced your thumb off kind of.
That does happen a lot.
I don't know if that was related.
But there was like dark energy in that place. And that is like, yeah, I can't articulate it, but like,
no, there's just certain
there was
places
dark
like that.
energy in that place. And I get really like woo about this. And sometimes I think it was when we were talking to a psychic about here on the podcast about how like, I actually think whatever energy, like I think the fire was a good thing. Like something was getting me the hell out of there.
Interesting. Yeah, that's
Which is
interesting.
Anyway, so that place had dark energy, and I wonder if your place was it Ladue? That place was cursed by the ghosts of everyone that was on the hills in 2007.
That's what it was. It was
going
cursed
to
by
Ladue.
Spencer Pratt specifically. With his fucking crystal. Spencer like like placed his crystals, and like my whole life fell apart.
Spencer, we'd still love to have you. The crystals are waiting. We should get to our guests.
Yeah, please.
Very, very excited today. We have another duo coming to the office.
A lot of duos lately.
Yeah, well, we're a duo.
We are a duo. Oh my
Dynamic.
God, that's so cute.
I know. So we're going to have a little quad at the table today. They are comedians, authors. They're the hosts of This Might Get Weird. We are so excited. Welcome to the office, Mamrie, Hart, and Grace Helbig. Welcome to the office, you guys.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being here.
I'm also still... I'm laughing at how you were like... We were talking about like taking our tops off, and then you were like, I'm wearing a one piece. And I just thought about like, nobody understands the struggle of wearing like a one piece or a romper and having to pee or having to do anything.
Getting off a plane and immediately it's just like you've never looked worse. And if someone walks in on you peeing,
But that's the
naked
thing.
gremlin.
Rompers and jumpsuits are a dangerous drug because they're so cute
so
and they're so
comfy.
comfortable. But then the sacrifice is that you could be full naked in an Exxon bathroom as someone walks in on you.
And you can't reach that lock for safety.
No. And if there's a slot in the bathroom,
they're
like most of America, they just see you fully naked.
Yeah,
and you're like,
you feel like a toddler.
Please don't look at this.
I still don't understand why they haven't done the like toddler little like bottom of like the little unsnappy things. Like, why can't we have those
like a
in a
little
wrapper?
buffer.
Do like a little something. I mean, like, I'm sure somebody could design it in a better way so we don't look like toddlers.
yeah.
But I'm like, something. Come on. Like, I have to get butt ass
Innovation.
naked at like
True.
a concert. It's terrible.
Yeah.
However, I feel like I would do enough high kicks or something to where I'd be accidentally exposing myself quite
Be
a bit.
undoing them.
And I'm not saying on accident.
The amount of high kicks you do to this day is shocking.
So anyway, sorry for starting this out with nudity.
Never apologize for
We're
that.
so excited to have you guys. We love your podcast.
Thank you.
So fun.
We, Grace and I, immediately when we walked in here, I could just see our brain. We were dolphin braining of just being like, wow, we've really got to step it up.
Yeah, this
These
is like
girls
a
are
real place.
professional.
They don't have a mural of two deer in the woods on the wall in the background. This is aesthetically very interesting.
There are tools on the wall. There's
Yeah,
a lot
it's
of
very
weird
bizarre.
shit on
I
the
don't
wall
know
here.
that we're doing a great job with our
I feel
design
like we're in like
choices.
a restoration hardware
Yes.
right now.
Me too.
Ooh, I'll take that. There's no food though. No drinks.
We have nothing to offer you.
That's okay.
No.
No, your podcast is great. I do feel like I've said this, like, it feels like you're just like sitting in a conversation with your friends. And I love listening to it like in the car or something. And I'm like, oh my God, my besties are here. Like, you guys, it's just so fun.
Thank
That's
you,
awesome.
because it
That's
really
literally what it is.
the bar. So it's so funny when people are like, "Well, what's your podcast about?" And it's like, absolutely nothing.
Lately, potatoes.
We've been talking about potatoes quite a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, are you big
Yeah.
potato girls?
We're in our ranking food era.
Oh,
Which,
this is
who
a
knows
fun
if-
conversation.
It's incredibly fun, but who knows if this is like a sign that we've fully run out of things to talk about. But it has been a source of some of the most heated and passionate conversations that maybe we've had in the last 6 years of doing podcasting.
I feel like we should acknowledge the fact, for context, that you guys have been doing this a long time. You've built up an incredible fan base. I feel like you have been doing the internet since like way before so many people were doing it. And in like that's really a cool accomplishment. Like, you've seen so many eras of the internet.
Yes, the
I
era
imagine.
store of
Yeah.
YouTube.
Like
and podcasting.
YouTube to like, pre-TikTok to podcasting to
Vine was there. For a
I miss
second.
Vine. It's back.
I think we all miss Vine and we all forget about Vine sometimes. Like, it was like
Yeah.
a snippet in time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been on the internet so long that I feel like, or we were doing comedy when you would promote a show on MySpace. You know.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
How
fun.
did it all start? The two of you.
How we met each other. We met each other in a.
Go ahead, honey.
I love stories of me too.
We were put on the same sketch comedy team at a theater called the People's Improv Theater in New York. It was a sketch team that was already formed, and like 2 people had dropped out or something. So Mamrie and I got added to the team. We had never met before, and we had a mutual friend, I guess, that had like recommended us and brought us onto this together. And the first, well, I'll let you.
Well, that was 2007.
Yeah.
Maybe 2008. And then we go to the sketch rehearsal, and we weren't writing them. We were just performing at that point. And the first scene that we're doing, the first sketch we're doing, is called Everybody Loves Grace. And the premise is everyone on the team has a crush on her. And every time I speak, they hate me.
Yeah.
And it's been a dream ever since. We really just set our power dynamic out of the gate.
Yeah, it was like a strange, like hazing or in a way. But then at that same time, my full-time job, I actually was waiting tables and then got hired by this website to make content for them. And I got to work from home. It was like absolutely absurd and unheard of and amazing. So I was making like 5 videos a week for this website. And Mamrie had come to me during one of our practices for the sketch team, and she was like, I have an idea for a web thing. Could you help me shoot it? Because I had all the equipment at my house, and we found out that we lived like a mile away from each other in Brooklyn. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And then she came over and we shot You Deserve a Drink, Why Dad? And it was so much fun, and it didn't feel like work at all. And then that just sort of spiraled.
It was so funny though, because when Grace was doing what she's talking about, doing 5 videos a week for the website, this was back in the day where like now everyone wants to be on the internet and wants to be famous and wants to have a following and whatnot. And she, this job of her, like she was secret about it.
Yeah, I was, like, hiding it.
I remember being fed an ad, like a banner ad, and seeing Grace who I'm like work on this team with, making a funny video and then clicking and then seeing all the videos and being like, she has a secret life.
Yeah,
she has a secret life as this comedian on the internet.
Yeah, because everyone thought the internet was stupid and also thought that this advent of YouTube was just this era of like kids that live in Michigan in their basements.
Are you talking about Tyler Oakley right now?
Maybe.
Wait, who's Tyler Oakley?
Oh my gosh, you really don't know.
Is he one of the kids that unboxes things on YouTube?
Oh my God.
No.
I'll teach you. I'll
he's
teach
like
you
a
later.
For me, the dummy, and our parents, who is Tyler Oakley?
He's moved off of YouTube onto Twitch now, but he was very iconic of an era of YouTube, like 2012, 2014.
Yeah, he's the early 2010s. He's on the Mount Rushmore of YouTube.
Because we were like living in New York trying to do like traditional comedy. This stuff on the internet was like so taboo or looked down upon by like casting directors and stuff that it was like kept to the side. Like I remember slowly made merch based on like catchphrases from these videos because that's how I saw content creators making revenue. And I was like, I need revenue. So made merch. And then I was doing improv shows like a few nights a week. And like people came to the show wearing the merch and I like came out on stage and was like, oh no.
It blew people's minds.
Yeah, I was like, oh no,
because
my
your cover
secret
was
life
blown.
is now seeping into like my cool, legit New York comedy life. Like, oh no, what's going on?
Totally.
Yeah.
Someone asking to take a picture with you at the bar after a show and everyone else there is like, what's this all about?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, actually, we make YouTube videos.
Yeah. This is like 2008, 9 that we like started making videos, and then things were blowing up by like 2012 or something.
The meme you see that's always, sure, grandma, when it's like, LA used to be hot. Those kind of things. That's how I feel every time we talk about the internet.
Sure, Grandma, let's get you to bed.
Like, let me upload this video. It's going to take about 3 days.
It's crazy. But I can't imagine, like, now I look at this space, one, it overwhelms me like crazy.
Yeah, it's
TikTok, I'm still trying to figure out. I can't imagine being a content creator trying to work in the space and trying to carve out a space for myself now. I feel very lucky with the era in which we started to be stupid.
Yeah. So kudos for blowing up.
Yeah.
Well, kudos
Seriously.
to you guys also.
To the audience, I would just like to acknowledge also that I've been a fan of Grace and Mamrie for years and years, and like this makes me so happy. I feel like I'm having like the wildest like fan experience. Like I feel like I won like a Disney like I get to have like lunch with my favorite YouTuber. Lunch with
You won a contest.
Like I truly do feel that way right now. And hearing you guys be like, yeah, we text Michael Buckley. I'm like, and like literally you could put like Brad Pitt, Gwyneth Paltrow, and like Jennifer Aniston at this table and I would not care as much as I care right now.
The amount of times we have said Jennifer Aniston's name on this podcast, like we're going to Beetlejuice her.
Manifest it. Hold a crystal.
Yeah.
We're constantly trying to manifest something here.
Well, actually, this is a manifestation podcast.
You
We
keep
do have
calling it
crystals
that, and
on
I'm
the
like,
table.
we're gonna get like sorted into the manifestation.
Okay, well, it's a
category.
podcast where we manifest. We do have crystals on the table. So if we want to manifest anything, or if you guys want to manifest
guys have
anything,
anything in the works.
now is the time. We've got some in here. We've got some crystals in here.
Whoa.
Yeah,
What's the rules with what's, the whole like birthday cake wish?
I don't know shit.
Versus like, are you supposed to say it out loud? Does that take it away? What's the vibes?
Oh, interesting.
I think you can say it out
I think you can say it. I think you can.
No follow-up questions. Come on.
I think birthday wishes.
I'm a
you
Virgo.
can.
I need the rules.
No, I love that. I'm also a very
Oh, I was going to ask
rule-oriented
you what your
person.
signs are.
We're 5 days apart, so I'm the last day of Virgo.
Oh,
and she's, so I'm
cute.
cusp, and she's the 27th.
No, to be honest, I don't know anything about crystals, but we always just say something out loud and hold a crystal.
Oh, okay.
We're not experts.
We're not experts.
Have you experienced the manifestations coming to light?
Ooh, that's a great question.
I will say this, and like all jokes aside, I think that the more that I've kind of like, anytime I step into that space and I'm like, okay, let me like try to be serious about this and like think, I do think that the more you put like the like kind of good intention out, I think it's likely to come back. I have no idea, like I have no expertise in this and should not be speaking on this at all. But I do feel like, the more like even like a mantra, if you like wake up every day and you like repeat something to yourself, I do feel like it kind of like comes to fruition. Like obviously I'm not going to wake up and be like, I want a Ferrari, and then like it'll like a Ferrari shows up tomorrow. But I do think if it's more like broad and it's like, abundance or health or those kinds of things, I think so.
Is that the secret Is that what The Secret is?
Yeah, thoughts are things. What you put out in the
I
world.
never
get
read
back.
The
remember
Secret.
The Secret.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember talking about. I like never.
For a
read
while,
it.
I thought it was like an MLM, but it's definitely
Well,
not.
I think
It was
they
MLM
do kind of sell some stuff, but The Secret, it's the power of positive thinking and it's
Yeah.
manifestation. And I remember my,
Oh, that's not an MLM. I'm a dick.
well, no, but also I think it's like, there's some weird sketchy shit to it
Got
too.
it.
Like I
Okay.
feel like, the founders got some skeletons or whatnot. But I
okay.
remember my
For another episode.
stepmom and dad, me like coming to visit them and them sitting me down to watch The Secret DVD.
My mom did it too.
Why
my
are
mom
our parents like
My
this?
mom sat me and my brother down and played the CDs.
Yeah.
And I just went, well, it's best time to dissociate right now. Here we go. And then
That's
the
your
songs would
secret.
play. Yeah.
haven't
And
heard
she
a
was like,
thing.
do you hear what they're saying? I was like, yeah, wow. Incredible. But yeah, it was, I think, like spirituality for the boomer generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Interesting.
trickled down.
That's a
Seriously.
good, yeah, I think that's right.
But it's all the same sort
Yeah,
of
tent poles.
repackaged,
Yeah.
like thoughts are things.
Yeah, like
positive
influencers
thinking.
coming on now and being like, we're going to do a manifestation. Like, that's literally our parents watching The Secret.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's bullshit entirely. I
either.
think it's fun and silly at the same time.
Grace is my go-to
Yeah.
for horoscopes and what the planets are doing, and you stay pretty informed on it.
I read this thing about like Pluto trining and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm saying words, I don't know what any of them mean, and I don't know how it's gonna help
I
you.
thought Pluto got canceled. Is Pluto still in the,
Pluto's back?
horoscope?
Well, I think
in
it's still
there.
part of the universe, whether or not it's a planet. I don't think they took it out of.
I thought Pluto like got the boot, so it's not in
It
the
did,
yes,
because
course
a
it
long time ago, Pluto was
Pluto.
declassified as a planet.
Oh.
Grace knows this because I did a play about it in middle school.
Yeah. Were you Pluto in like the play where everyone's one of the
No, I was
planets?
kicking Pluto out to the song "Hit the Road, Jack." I wrote the play.
Yeah.
I wrote the play.
a scientist.
But anyway, but I don't know if it's come back into the fold. But yes, even though it's no longer there and popular,
Yeah.
she still exists. You guys.
I want to go on record and say I've never had a problem with Pluto. I did not.
Pluto's publicist is
I
gonna
did
call
not
us out.
agree with it being declassified, and despite the fact that there was a very, very traumatizing episode of the Magic School Bus where Miss Frizzle takes them to Pluto, and do you remember this episode? And he takes his helmet off on Pluto and just like immediately freezes and dies.
What?
Yeah, on the Magic School Bus.
Wow.
I remember that so traumatically.
Who died?
Some kid.
Oh my
Kid died?
Or he
That's how you
froze.
decide.
Like
This
his
is
head
why we're not
froze.
okay. This
Yeah,
is what we were
yeah.
watching.
Can you
as
imagine
children.
that being on Disney like now? Like this is
No,
why
I know.
millennials are struggling. Like we watched that
No,
at a
I think
very
we're
young
strong.
age.
I think we have strong minds because we were exposed to
But
a
yeah,
lot
I'm
of
just
trauma.
standing up for Pluto. You know,
Okay.
someone's got to.
We love a platform. And I think you've got that one all to yourself. Find your niche, girl. What should we manifest, Grace? Come here with me.
Abundance.
Of what, though? You gotta be specific, because sometimes my abundance doesn't let me fit into my pants.
You say you're a bunion?
No, my abundance. I got some abundance I need to scale back.
Abundance of opportunity.
There we go. I love that. Yeah,
I like
here's,
that.
As we
here's two
gently
evolving.
touch this phallic
I do like
crystal
both of you
from
holding
both
on to
sides.
I feel like it's like transferring power.
Felt it.
I
Perfect.
thought you were gonna hit with an amen. It felt like an amen was gonna come from you.
We need an om.
Amen.
I want to manifest a movie from you guys. Like,
Oh man.
yeah,
That would be
tell
great.
me, like, what are you guys working
Tis
on
time.
outside of your podcast? I'm like, what else do you guys have on your plate?
No, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
well, Grace just.
I just did
beat
cancer,
cancer.
for a little bit.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Yeah, that was my last year was breast cancer, and now thankfully I'm in remission and stuff's good.
Wow,
so I
that's
get to
great.
like do other things now.
Incredible.
Thanks. Yeah, it was quite a ride, but now feeling really good and like sort of thinking about that question right
Yeah.
now. Like I'm like, wow, I get to think about this. We've been writing some stuff over the last few years that we're seeing what happens
Seeing what
with.
happens. Always.
You've
what's
been
sticking.
working on a ton of writing.
Yeah.
I'm like letting myself take my time getting back into the world. Like after a treatment like that, you're like, oh shit, I got to catch up as fast as possible and like make up for lost time.
At your own pace.
But right now, so right now I'm like, I want to enjoy things and have fun and also lay on my couch sometimes when I want to.
Hell yeah.
So
the
yeah,
best.
doing that kind of balance right now.
Yeah.
Trying to find fun making content again. that's the other thing too. I was burnt out for a lot of years on making content from doing it for so long. And now I'm like, I really do enjoy it. I just want to stay connected to having fun with it rather than it feeling like an obligation of something I have to do. So that's what we're working on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I write a lot, like separate of everything. So I've sold a few movies, scripts.
I like
so
how
we
you
haven't
say
seen them.
that. So I sold a few movies.
No, I mean, it's a
Went to
grind.
Gelson's.
And I wrote a lot that didn't, So I sold a few movies in the last few years, and then I just finished writing a cookbook that gets turned in on Monday.
Oh my God, that's great.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were a chef.
I'm not. No, I know a lot about. It's a vegetarian cookbook and cocktail book, so it's called "All I Think About Is Food." And
It's a great title. Same.
Thank you, but they're like marathons, so I'm not even promoting it right now. It's useless.
It'll be like a year.
It'll be like a year from now. But yeah, so we're staying busy, and I love Grace talking about like seeing her doing YouTube videos and things, and seeing her actually enjoy it, and I feel like it's like an old couple that when you see they like, well, I'm just saying like they fall in love, and then they have like going through the trenches, and then when they're retired, you're like, they can't keep their hands off each other. I feel like that's Grace with her content. Like it's seeing you be like, ooh, look at this frisky girl.
Yeah.
Your
starting to have
new
fun
YouTube
again.
videos are fun. Like the Vegas trip, we were listening to the Vegas episode of your podcast.
We love a Vegas. Vase got married in Vegas.
I got married in
Oh,
Vegas.
fun.
Yeah. And
Like
it
an
was
Elvis wedding, or did you?
No, didn't do Elvis. That was when my husband was like, don't want Elvis to marry us. Want it to be tacky and weird, but not Elvis. And I'm thankful that he put his foot down. Yeah, it was really just like a cute Vegas-y weekend. And then I think this was the first time that we had been back since getting married there. So it was like a celebration that my treatment's done. I'm good. Let's go to the dirtiest place in the United
The
States.
immune system can
and
handle
really
Vegas.
test this immune system.
I don't think
Let me
there's.
touch these screens.
Totally.
Vegas is the ultimate test.
I don't
though.
think
Like,
there's
yeah,
anywhere
if you
that
made it through
tests-
Vegas, you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm good on Vegas for a while now, but it was very fun.
That's the thing. It's like I go and I have fun, and then I'm like, I'm good for a while.
Yeah.
Like, I also, last time I went to Vegas, I learned the move is to like get the hell out of there before the sun even comes up on Sunday.
Oh yeah.
Because like I think I went straight from the club to the airport at like 5 a.m. and it was like,
my God.
this is how, like, you don't want to be there Sunday when the sun comes up.
No, we
It's
left on
terrifying.
Saturday.
That's
That was
the
like
best.
major
Yeah.
life hack. I was like, wow, the airport looks lovely.
Yeah.
There's
way
not people
less
like just
sad.
like
Yeah.
sleeping on the
There's
ground.
not just everyone having the worst day of their lives.
Trying to get out of
It's
Vegas on a
amazing.
Sunday is like, scary.
tough.
I love
We should
Vegas
go.
though.
Me
I
too.
really love
I'm
Vegas.
due now.
Do you?
It's been a
Yeah.
while.
I mean, I can't stay for more than like 48 hours. Like it's very in and out, but I
Yeah.
just like there is definitely like a gambling addiction or something that
What do
exists.
you play?
Nothing good. Like I'm not good. I just
Yeah.
love I love walking in. I love the cigarette smoke. I love
Yeah.
the slot machine. Like I feel like I'm transported to another disgusting
smell of,
time.
like-
and I love
That's
it.
how my husband feels. It's like it calls to him like a siren song. He loves it.
That
Crazy.
smell of like cigarettes and like cleaner
Yeah.
mixed
yeah.
together.
Beautiful.
I always say it smells like a diaper smoking a cigarette.
Yeah. It does.
Yeah.
It really does.
Those cosmopolitan
accurate.
doors open, and I go, "Oh, hello, you."
It's just like you get hit
Are we in pull-ups
with like
now?
a cloud. Like it's
No,
just-
it's nice, and it's also fun too. Vegas is quintessentially a place you plan your outfits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not a person who does that, and like I'm most of the time just wearing sweatpants, and so that's a place where it feels like, oh,
yeah.
I'm gonna be a real girl, and like wear
the fancy
a heel for the first 2 hours.
You can
before
also-
I'm crying. Yeah.
You can also be whoever you want in Vegas. You
That's
can be
true.
like, I'm gonna wear a cowboy hat out tonight, and no one's gonna know who you really are.
No
because
one
you
knows
can't.
that you normally don't.
Yeah.
It is wild.
You could pretend you're on your bachelorette party. No one would know.
That is honestly, that is a fantastic hack if you ever go anywhere broke.
Stuff for free.
Yeah.
Buy a $5 bride sash, and people buy you shots all night.
Smart.
There you go.
Yeah.
Genius.
You know,
I used to do that in my 20s quite a bit. You're welcome, Overheard podcast.
so
Truly, $5 will make you drink free all night. They'll put you on the bar.
wow.
It's amazing.
Amazing.
That is smart.
Highly recommended in a city you don't live in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
Also, if you go wedding dress shopping, free champagne.
That's a big
don't
thing
ask
to do
questions.
for free champagne.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
I will just buy the bottle.
Yeah.
It's fine. I don't need to be stuffed in a white dress to have some champagne.
That's fair. Can you imagine
lot
just
of
like
effort.
going and just blacking out and they're like, when are you getting married again? And you're like,
Mind your business.
One day.
yeah, we're doing an Elvis wedding, okay? Like no one asked.
Can I ask how you guys met each other?
Ooh, this is the Grace turning the table.
Well, I'm curious.
I know.
No, I mean, our story is less
stormy
romantic.
night in Los Angeles. We met each other in the spring place. I remember walking to meeting. We both have worked at Overheard since like the very, very early
Since
days.
the beginning of time. It
like
feels
2018, basically. We were
Wow.
like second and third person. So yeah. And we met and I don't know. I instantly adored you.
We instantly fell in love.
No, we quickly became like, yeah, you're my work wife, but
Well, because Emily
then
was
friends.
also not working. So you should tell the story of how you started working at Overheard, because I actually don't think you've ever told that.
of how I work at Overheard. It is kind of a crazy story. I'll try and tell it quickly. I had another job where I was like a celebrity assistant and I was driving.
I want you to know that 7 years into this friendship, I still have that reaction where I'm like, tell me more details.
Well, I did a lot of like
different options.
I did a lot of different like talent wrangling for various ones.
Oh,
but
you have so many stories.
yeah,
I'm
but I've also
sure.
signed a lot of NDAs.
Oh, God damn it.
And I was driving. I was a fan of Overheard. Like I had submitted a quote. So I actually work at Overheard because of the guy that said this weird thing to me because I wouldn't have submitted the quote otherwise. And I was driving on Sunset and I saw my quote that I had submitted to Overheard on a billboard for
Oh
like
my
a
God.
Postmates ad or something. And I was honestly like, not once did I think that that was like an intentional branded campaign. I just was like, some companies like ripping off OverheardLA. And it was back in the time when like I was somebody who like my tweets got taken by meme accounts. Like I was just very much like for the little guy content getting ripped off because it happened to me all the time because I would like I was like a tweeter. That's like all I was really doing. I wasn't like a comedian. And so I like took a picture of it, like snitch tagged OverheardLA, and then yeah, it was just like, hey, they're taking your stuff. It ended up becoming like a whole thing. And then basically I got connected to the founder of OverheardLA that way. And then I think he like called me and he was like, so what do you want? Like, do you want like money? And I was like, no, but can we get coffee? And then I got coffee and then I was like, I would like to work for you. And that's how I started working for
Wow.
OverheardLA.
So you thought someone was stealing from Overheard.
And I was just like
and you
defending
went to them
Overheard.
and they were like, no, that's actually our, like, we agreed on this campaign.
No, it actually had been stolen.
Oh, it had been stolen.
Yeah.
Oh.
You missed that part in the
Yeah.
story.
So you're like
So you were a
Spider-Man.
vigilante.
So I was a vigilante meme lord, I guess.
Like, that's like, how you dream of hiring someone to work for
yeah.
you.
And because I was honestly just like defending the little guy. Like I was
Yeah.
like, it was like also back in those days when the whole like meme universe, which sounds so fucking nerdy, was just kind of starting, like the fuck
Oh,
Jerry
yeah.
era where like people's stuff was getting taken and no credit. And so I was like, hey, this sucks because I follow this account OverheardLA and I'm seeing like brands take, and it was like the copy was like word for word. And it was my quote. So it was like, that's how I knew.
That's just wild. Like, what kismet that you were
was
driving
very
down, like that they
universe.
chose that quote, and like
Yeah.
you were
On
driving, you
Sunset.
saw it.
And
Insane.
then, and then I was like, I immediately was like, I want to work at this company because this is like my sense of humor. And then, so that's how I started working for Overheard. That's the whole
Amazing.
story. And then I started as a freelancer, met Justina, who was full time.
Emily was like my shining star, like because also wrangling creative sometimes is very difficult. And so Emily came in with the
Apparently.
skill set of like super creative, but also really organized. And I was like, thank Jesus for
dream.
you. You've
Well,
like,
'cause I
you
used to
were
be-
the
I
best
used to
thing
be
that's ever happened to
corporate.
me.
And then,
Emily used to also had a stroke there. Emily used to also work at Yelp. I feel like her just like a lot of good stories coming out of Emily.
I mean,
between
Yelp's not that exciting.
No, but I feel like you had like fun things.
yeah.
You know what I saw on Yelp yesterday? That I was like, this is interesting. I've never seen this cross promotion before. I was looking at a restaurant because that's all I do. And I was looking at the reviews. I was going in to see the pictures the food, you know, the vibes.
I always do that when I'm at a restaurant.
It's a restaurant I've frequented multiple. It's Houston's in Pasadena.
Shout them out.
Almost went there the other day.
The Hillstone Group. Yeah. We love them. But I was looking at a review and I was like, okay. Mainly I was going to see the most recent review to see if artichokes were in season. And so I'm looking and someone leaves a review and then at the end goes, by the way, we have a beautiful cabin 2 hours outside of Los Angeles. The Airbnb listing is in my profile.
Whoa.
Oh, doing a little
So
And I was like,
promoting.
wow. So someone went, I see this person's order. I see this person's the way they describe it. This is a classy guy right here. I bet his Airbnb is nice.
I bet he goes to Hillstone restaurants.
Wow.
I just was like, wow, this feels like a multiverse.
Yeah.
I can't stop talking about Spider-Man.
The funny thing is, like, I'm not even in like the Marvel. Like, I don't. we don't know shit about it.
I'm trying to bring in a bigger male demographic for you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
We
good
need
call,
that.
good call. Wow, that is like
Anyway.
get your bag. You know.
That's what I'm saying.
Um,
It's hard out there.
speaking of bag,
Yeah, I was gonna say we have work to do, guys.
sorry, that sounded really gross. Bag. I don't know why I thought of
don't
like
know.
nut
Our
bag.
brains aren't working
Speaking
today.
of bag, we like to do a fun little mailbag. This is when we get into our DMs.
Ooh,
Yeah. Which we have many, and we knew this one would be really fun with you guys. We asked our audience to send in the pettiest things they've ever done.
Oh my God. Okay.
God, you guys are so creative. I'm so proud. So I don't know if we're going to be able to get to all of them, but we've got quite a lot. Just wanted to talk. I also then want to know, what are the pettiest things that you guys have ever done?
God, we're
If you
so
have.
nice.
You honestly are probably good people, so you probably haven't.
Well, I like
wanna
as
know
I
yours.
was reading these. No, I'm like, I'm not creative at all.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just like mean, I guess. Like if you do something shitty, I'm like, I don't like that.
Well, that's the Scorpio in Justina is that instead
Yeah.
of being quietly petty, she'll just be like, fuck you.
You're a bitch.
Yeah. So petty must just be being mean but creative about it.
It's like, I feel like it's a passive aggressive version.
Yeah.
Or like a little thing. Like I would say if you want revenge and you murder somebody, I don't think that's petty.
Right. Yeah. No.
That's not killed somebody.
Petty
That's
crime.
a crime.
Yeah.
So these gave me some ideas for someone you don't like. Like
Okay.
put frozen shrimps in the lint trap of a man's dryer.
So this is just going to be called the gas
Yeah.
hour. Frozen shrimp. I have heard about someone putting a piece of fish under someone's bed.
That happened to me in college. Somebody put a fish in our ceiling.
In your ceiling?
Mm-hmm.
How long did it take to really sniff it out?
When I lived for a year, I lived in a sorority house, and one of the frats put like a fish in like the light, like kinda like you know those lights that can like
no.
pop off. And the house smelled for like a month, and
How
nobody
did you
could
guys
find it.
find it?
Who fucking knows, honestly? But when we did, it was like this is not a funny prank. It was.
How did you
disgusting.
retaliate?
I can't remember.
Legal action?
It was like we killed them.
I think we like TP'd their house or something. I don't
That
know.
is not equal.
Not equal.
That is
Because
not.
honestly, here's the
Yeah.
thing about toilet paper in, which I participated in quite
got real
toilet paper.
Southern.
I know. The North Carolina just jumped out. Here's the thing about toilet paper in. It's that quote that's like, oh, having hate for someone is just poisoning yourself. Like, is just having poison in
The
drink.
resentment
That's
thing.
toilet paper in because it's only costing you money.
True. That's how I feel about egging.
And eggs are expensive
Eggs
these
are
days.
expensive. If you throw those like pasture raised ones, like forget it. You're out like
no,
30
you're
bucks.
buying the white eggs that have no pasteurization.
Yeah.
One time, a friend and I, we wanted to do TPing for you guys who are
toilet paper.
No,
Toilet
please
paper.
say it
I'm
again.
only toilet paper.
We wanted to do toilet paper or eggs, but we were desperate, and it was in the moment. We had just found out a guy like screwed over one of our friends.
Yeah.
So she goes into her fridge and she's like, "Well, I don't have any eggs, but I've got this like 3-gallon thing of potato salad." They were like, "Let's ride." So we go to where we know his car is parked with potato salad and like yellow, like like very cheap potato salad
That's
from
way worse.
like Costco, and
Yeah.
a thing of rainbow sprinkles. And we find his, whatever shitty early 90s Honda it was, and we dump the potato salad on the roof, and then we put all the sprinkles, and we're like, yeah, screw you, Jeff, or like whoever. And but we didn't know he'd gone out of town. And it like baked in the sun
was it hot?
and rained, and
Yeah.
then it like tie-dyed the hood of his white car.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's the pettiest thing you've
Yeah.
ever done for
But that
sure.
that was mistake.
Yeah.
You know,
Was it though?
I didn't know it was gonna become.
We
a
did something
whole
similar. We egged
tie-dye.
a car, but it was in the middle of winter. And so the egg froze on the side of this guy's car. That was like this really, whatever, South Jersey souped up car that guy's like. And when he peeled it off, it took like the whole paint job off of the side of the car. But it was like, oops. I didn't realize the eggs would freeze.
And then, sorry, one more.
No, please.
No, tell
You were
us.
like, we don't do petty things.
Tell us.
Well, this was high school, and
Yeah, you guys were like, we're not petty, but
I
here's
grew
a
up
couple
in a
of
very small town. There was nothing to do. Okay, so then there was this other girl who like started dating an ex of mine, and it was like a little sketchy, you know. So we were like, well, what are we gonna do? Obviously, we're gonna put on those Dumb and Dumber styrofoam huge cowboy hats.
Oh, yeah.
And go right on her shed in mustard. Picture us,
Obviously.
real discreet. I mean, why did we add the hats? Just for
I was
ourselves.
gonna say, I don't
Just
know
for
what
ourselves.
hats are
Coming out of the ditch, we got our mustard. We like, you know, on the barn, right, like Helbig or something, whatever it was. Her father determined it was us. And
How?
Well,
he saw those big ass hats walking away.
so he, you know, realized it was us. We were like, oh, guilty, whatever, you know, slap on the wrist. No, he sent certified letters to all of our parents.
Wow.
So he knew that they received him because they had to sign for them.
I mean,
Oh, wow.
kind of good dad.
I mean, I think she was probably very embarrassed.
Oh, of course.
And we made up like a month later, but that's petty to me.
Did that
sending
scare
the
you straight?
certified letter.
That's petty, right?
Yeah,
it's not
that's
what you,
petty.
what he did was petty. That's crazy.
That's petty what he did.
It's
yeah.
always
What small town are
condiments.
you from?
It's called Boonville, North Carolina. It has one stoplight. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
It's like,
I was like,
I
I,
just
need
wanna
to know
hear
where
you
that
say-
accent's from. Toilet
I just
paper.
want to hear you say toilet paper. Like, I want to isolate that clip
Yeah.
and just like play it on a loop.
The title of this episode is going to be the toilet papering.
toilet paper.
The great toilet papering.
Anyway, back to the petties.
Back to the shrimp in the
Flooded.
dryer.
Oh.
My question is, did it like cook the shrimp? And
Oh, like a
Oh,
steam.
interesting.
yeah,
Oh.
like a steam sauna.
Ew,
That's
that would
nasty.
be awful.
Petty, but hey, I mean, we don't know what this man did. Is the thing?
The one that I really like is unscrewed the top of every spice while moving a friend out of a crazy ex's house. That's incredible.
That's so good.
That's
it's
so
harmless
creative.
Yes.
and so annoying. That's
The
so
definition
good.
of petty. I
Yes.
think. Harmless and annoying. Oh, because every time you'd go to like shake a spice.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything dumps every
Oh.
time.
every dinner is ruined. It's fantastic.
That's so good.
God, that's
and then you
good.
forget about it and you go like 3 months and you're like, oh, I'll make something Indian tonight and like curry. Like, you know, because it's like every time you hit a different
Every
genre
time.
of food. it
Over,
affects you.
these are great
That's the
ideas.
very
the petty that
creative.
keeps on pettying.
I'm literally, as I'm reading these, I'm thinking of like, do I have any enemies I can do this to? And I like, I really don't.
That's the thing is I'm like, I don't think I.
Not personally. I mean, there's public figures I would love to do this to, but
That's
Can't get to their
I
spice
can't
rack.
get to their kitchen. You know, I can't get to his golden gilded kitchen
Oh, there we go.
at the top of that tower.
And he
you
ain't
know?
cooking.
He probably has chefs.
So true.
And that gold toilet, you know, can't do anything with that either.
Loosen the toilet ring. Yeah. Slide right
Put a
off.
silver seat on it.
Yeah, put some shrimp in his toilet bowl.
He probably has that.
Change my HBO password just before the series finale of Game of Thrones.
That's
me.
lovely and petty.
Perfectly petty.
Perfectly petty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's our new podcast.
Right.
Perfectly
Where we
petty
just
where we
sit
go
around
in
like, who are our
TV
enemies?
houses.
It's,
do a
you're
good
well
toilet
within your
papering.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. If it's your password, then
Yeah.
clearly this sounds like a breakup.
It's like an ex.
But
thing.
also
Yeah.
to wait until literally that moment, not to do it right after they
Yeah.
break
True.
up, to give the false hope that maybe I can still log into her account without her knowing, and
like
then to
it.
do it
we
right
got
then. The
several
timing.
we got several versions of that were like, I changed the Hulu password once they got to a cliffhanger in the show they were
Amazing.
watching.
Amazing.
Incredible.
Reported him to the IRS.
wow.
I'm like, I don't think that's petty. I think
Yeah, I think that
That's
enters
like past petty.
that enters crime territory. I think there's a spectrum of like petty and revenge.
We did a question box recently about financial secrets, and somebody
Oh my
told us
God.
that their ex used to sell organs on the black market, and I'm like, you can't tell us that.
Yeah.
I'm like, that one you have to keep to yourself.
That's
like,
a crime.
They need to tell someone. Clearly.
yeah. And I'm like, obviously they're not going.
No,
to the
it wasn't
police, but-
somebody's ex. It was somebody telling us they did it.
Oh, I thought it was
It
the
was
ex.
the organ seller confessed the crime to us.
Now, question: did they like use a program to mask their IP address, or they were like, "And this is from
No,
Kitty
that's
Catherine,
I think
93."
I just did that in my. I think I
Kitty
just
Catherine,
did that in my
92.
head because I'm like, I don't want to be part of that crime.
Yeah.
So I'm like, their ex.
Let's pretend, there is an instrument called an organ.
They're selling organs.
They were selling
old
organs.
church
Selling
organs.
organs.
That would be great.
And they were just really embarrassed about
They
it.
were like, I gotta tell someone about
took me a
this.
minute. Not a
I was
popular
like,
instrument
I just
anymore.
like that we all paused and we're like, what?
I know, and that's when I thought, this is when I'm going
That
to
took me a
excuse
minute.
myself and leave.
she has been on the internet for 20 years.
Hold on. I was like, what's an organ? And then I remembered it's the thing in a church with the big tubes.
Yeah.
It's like, brrr, and I was like, somebody.
What church have you gone to?
No, because
Yeah, it's played by
what?
Animal from the Muppets.
you know what church I've been to? The one where the guy in Pirates of the Caribbean with the tentacles.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
And I was like, so somebody's smuggling those. Okay. That took me
that
a
one.
really long time to figure
Man, so
out.
you guys are an outlet for people.
Yeah.
To really say things they can't say to
'cause
anyone
it's all
else.
about like we always say we're the gossip girl of the people. No one famous. It's all just regular people telling us things, what they overheard, what their ex did, how petty they are.
Do you ever get celebrities in these boxes saying things, admitting things?
Oh, in the confessions, I don't think we have.
Dang.
But sometimes we'll post something and then like it'll be about a celebrity, which we obviously
Yeah.
will never
blind
put their
item.
names.
Yeah.
But then like we had this example
respond.
recently where like it was like a person from whatever show, and then like somebody was like, that was not me.
Whoa.
It was
Wow.
it was the one about like hooking up with somebody from the OC.
yeah.
It was like I hooked up with somebody from the OC and he laughed like the Count from Sesame Street, which is a great
Amazing.
image. And then we posted that and like Josh Schwartz, the creator of the OC, responded and he was like, wasn't me.
I like how we literally are like, we don't put people on blast. So then you're like, Josh
That was a
Schwartz.
he publicly commented on that. He commented on the feed and said that wasn't me.
You guys, I think that I have amnesia. Like, I don't remember things correctly.
yeah.
Same.
Like, I'm like, we posted that in a thing.
Yeah, we posted on the feed.
Wow.
It's okay. That's my job. That you don't have to do that.
This is why work is fun for me, because every day it's new. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm like on 51st dates. Like, I'm like,
Well, let me tell you about this organ joke.
Yeah.
I will laugh. It'll take me 4 seconds to get it, but I will laugh every time.
We're gonna have to tell our editor, like, hey, can you shorten that pause because we're all too fucking dumb to know what
No,
instruments
it's
are.
because it was so stupid.
Well,
I said it, and then
we all
it was
just went-
dead. I was gonna knock over the mic and run through the
I
wall.
thought you were saying Oregon, like the
Like
state,
the Oregon
but like
Trail.
Southern. You were saying it
totally
Southern.
we're in Oregon.
Oregon. Oregon.
Oregon donor.
It's like, what? We all glitched. It's okay.
Man, so there were a lot of these. You guys, 10 out of 10. Like,
Excellent.
I stole the rotating plate out of his microwave. So annoying and
Yeah.
fucking
How do you
great.
replace that?
that would be such a bitch to replace.
That's excellent.
Interesting.
That's a good one.
So these, you
Not
guys,
harmful.
these were so good. We'll post more of them on the account, but 10 out of 10, great ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
I love
you
this.
have anyone you want revenge for,
Yeah.
time for a quick game.
Ooh.
Have you guys ever played Two Truths and a Lie?
Yes.
Team Two Truths and a Lie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You guys don't have to lie to each other because you know each other so well.
Okay.
But you try and dupe us.
Oh my god.
This is where I go amnesia of like, what have I
have you
ever
done?
done in my entire life?
Everything is flashing.
Like, what memories do I have of anything?
Okay, let's see. Okay.
Okay.
This
conferred.
is wait. I don't think we've ever done like 2-on-2.
Yeah,
Two Truths
no,
and a
I'm
Lie.
excited about this.
This feels like a duel. I'm excited.
Okay.
Keep in
Yes.
mind, Justina's you're a fan.
Yeah,
so
I'm a
you
fan,
know
so
lot
I
of
don't
things.
know. Maybe I'll know something.
Okay.
All right, hit us.
First one. Grace and I took a whale watching tour and got so drunk that they put us in a sequestered area and we weren't allowed to come out and hang.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have auditioned for Abby Lee Miller, and I got better reviews. Mamrie's feet were too sickle, as she says.
Yeah. And finally, Grace and I do have a matching tattoo that we've never revealed to the internet, but it has to do with a cereal mascot.
Ooh.
I'm fucked right now. I don't know the answer.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, wait, this is like a test of, I'm like, I'm your biggest fan. I know everything about you guys.
I thought
I'm like,
Justina.
fuck, I don't know any of these.
I thought Justina would know because she's a fan.
Well, here's the thing.
And there's not one that's like obvious. All right, we got to deliberate.
Well, here's the thing, because I'm like, I want to be like, oh, of course you have a tattoo, but I'm like, I could definitely see you guys getting sequestered on a whale watching tour.
I want to also know that story. Sequestered on whale watching, auditioning for Abby Miller.
The Abby Lee Miller one is interesting. I do feel like sometimes on your Instagram stories, I see you like going to like dance classes.
My gut tells me tattoo could be the lie because maybe you guys are thinking about getting this matching tattoo, but you haven't yet.
Ooh.
I think just automatically turn into like murder mystery.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Yeah, you guys are not giving anything away, and I would like to.
This is why we can't be on Survivor.
I think we should go with your gut because you know, like you're going into it blind. I think we go with your gut.
I don't know if my gut's.
I know.
My
just,
gut's
like,
got issues. I have
like it.
IBS. I don't trust it.
There you go.
All right.
I'm going with your gut.
All right. Final answer. Tattoo.
Is the lie?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, ladies, we did 2 lies and 1 truth because we're petty.
Remix.
Yeah, that's why.
Abby Lee Miller was the truth. We got no matching tattoos, and we've been whale watching, but we didn't get that wasted.
No, we were hungover. We weren't wasted.
They
Flipped the script.
Wait, I love this. I love that we got bamboozled.
We've been double crossed. No one's ever done this before.
You did pick one of the lies.
Yeah,
This is a first. I'm so impressed. You guys,
You guys
time to
won
go
the
back
game.
to Vegas, get to that poker table.
Put it all on the
We
ponies.
scooched over here, and I said, let's get them.
Wow.
and it worked.
This is the only memory I have of us together.
You guys are masterminds.
Thank you.
So silly.
Oh man, so the whale story's not true.
No, but we have
did
been
go
whale
whale
watching
watching.
together in Alaska.
And we
it's
were
good.
told to stand in certain areas because we were wobbly
And
and
Walt
they
just
didn't want us to fall overboard.
If you were to get a matching tattoo of a cereal mascot, what would you get?
Oh, that cereal thing came right at the end. I added that.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I put it too far.
that
like,
honeycomb guy is pretty crazy.
You do love that honeycomb
I love
guy.
that little wily honeycomb
I was
guy.
thinking,
that little
like,
drug addict.
Tony the Tiger,
That's who
but
was
he's
in my
kind of
head.
played
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
You know who I love? Who's the weird ass one? there's
all of them.
Technically they all
Technically.
are.
Captain Crunch, little freak.
Oh, yeah, big
It
guy.
sounds like you guys dated briefly.
Yeah.
There's some shrimp in his lint trap.
That Cap'n, he'll put a fish in your underwear drawer.
That's our clip. There we go. That's our. That's our
Okay,
clip. We're
I'm
good.
so sad, but we gotta wrap
Yeah,
it
I
up.
know. We do have to wrap this up. You guys, that was the most masterful game of Two Truths and a Lie we've ever played.
Thank
guys
you.
crushed it.
You guys really challenged
Seriously.
us to remember something. Which
Go to
was
Vegas
wild.
tonight and play some poker
Yeah,
because
right.
got some. You guys, this is so fun.
Thanks for
Yeah.
having
Thank
us.
you so much for having
Thank you
us.
for coming.
I know. I feel like we could talk for another
I
like 3
know.
hours.
I would like to go for like 4 more hours. This is when I get sad.
I know it is. I would say whenever our friends are leaving our office and then we have to like go back to real work,
Yeah.
we're like, are we sure you have to leave?
Make this a 2-parter.
Stay forever.
Okay, can you guys tell the audience where to find you,
Yeah.
what you have coming up, all the goodies?
Totally.
Promo,
Yeah.
everything.
Grace and I have a podcast called This Might Get Weird, and it comes out every Wednesday in all of the places. And then we also added a second episode on Fridays that's specifically like reality TV. But our Wednesdays is just kind of this. It's just catching up, hanging out, talking about our week.
all in
Yeah.
the same podcast thread. So wherever you find This Might Get Weird, you'll get both episodes every week. And then I'm just at Grace Helbig on all social media stuff, seeing what I want to make out there.
Yeah. And I'm at Mametown. Yeah.
I'm so excited for both of you. You have big
you.
things coming.
Thanks, y'all.
Thanks for
for
having
being
us.
here.
I'm excited for you guys because I know you were planning lunch before we started recording.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
excited for you guys.
I mean, I am never, whatever you call, I am never not thinking about my next meal.
All I think about is food.
All I think about is food. So I'm very excited for that. Justina, do you want to give us a toodles, but like Southern version?
That's aggressive. I mean,
A toilet paper and toodles.
I feel like Mamrie should
Okay,
do like
give us
What do I
a.
do?
We do a toodles
we
goodbye.
just say toodles to end the podcast.
But give us your thickest accent.
Toodles.
Oh, I could have never done that. That's amazing.